Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? All right. First of all, I want to thank God for this opportunity and the honor and the privilege to speak with you, for my family. I want to thank my Team Busted. Please stand up. And everybody that I bribed to come here with LaJohn after this event. Thank you so much. All of the guests that came, thank you again so much. For those that got invited, I really appreciate you. I've been doing this business for about a little over 7 years, and actually the end of this month marks my 3rd year full-time with the company. I was formerly an operating room nurse, and we were a client with this company for about 12 years before I got into business. But I do want to shout out one more thing before I go on with my speech. My husband just turned 50 years old. Where is he? He's my partner. So shout out to my handsome, debonair husband. He just turned 50. So the people that I invited here is coming to the party after, just letting you know. Anyways, okay. So I want to thank my family, anybody who supported my business. All my clients have trusted me with what I do. And as I was saying earlier, I've been doing this, I wasn't in the business, I was a very happy investment client of the company. And I had a term insurance, I had invested in the company, and what really made me start opening my eyes was the fact that when somebody in my family was diagnosed with cancer, it was an eye-opener. It was only 42 years old, and I was like, oh my gosh, I better start paying attention to my stuff, right? And that's when I opened my investment account with Primerica. That was the very first time after 4 years. And I was very happy to see that I was making money while I was sleeping, right? Who does not want to make money while they're sleeping? There's only 2 ways to make money while you're sleeping. Either you're going to be an investor or you're going to start a business, and we offer both, okay? So what happened was I was more, aware of my finances, and I was like, you know what? I talked to Samir. I want to thank my upline too, Samir. I know he's not here right now. Shaq, and the standard hierarchy as well. Okay. So, anyways, I told him that I wanted to learn about investing more, right? And he said, okay, cool. Learn about investing. And he said, but you need to learn about life insurance because people are getting screwed over in your community with cash value insurance. And at that time, I didn't understand it. Got my license, because my real goal was just to learn about investing. I wasn't even gonna do the business. My husband and I were pretty comfortable with our income. But like I said, what I found out was when I learned how these cash value policies were working, it pissed me the hell off. And I didn't even own any of these, right? But the more people I talked to, the more people I saw that were getting screwed, the more it fired me up, okay? I want anybody in here that I invited who had a cash value insurance policy that I helped, open their eyes with. Stand up. I know, right? So I know there's more, right? But a lot of these people are getting screwed over. My most recent client was paying $600, the one that just closed 2 days ago, was paying $640 a month for insurance. Healthy male, 37-year-old, his death benefit was $800,000. And usually these are being sold to people as an insurance and an investment. So he was told that if you pay $640 a month, if you die, your family gets $800,000. But if you live, you get the $800,000 tax-free. That sounds really sexy, doesn't it? Right? But the truth is, with these IULs, the fees are horrendous. The cost of insurance goes up, right? And eventually, when I read his policy would have lapsed anyways in 42 years. So 42 years, he'll have no money, he won't have life insurance. Sold him by his friend. At that time when he reached out to me, his friend was on a cruise. And I said, what? I said, guess what, buddy? You paid for that effing cruise, right? Because these people make so much money and they don't give a shit about their clients. They pretend it, but you know what? they don't really care. They only care about themselves. I look at cash value insurance policy agents as politicians, right? They want to take more and more taxes, more money, and they only gain from it because we pay their salaries, right? Gotta face it, right? I don't mean to go into politics here. And that's the same thing with cash value. They keep wanting more from the clients. They get more, but the clients get less. I replaced that policy, right, with 150 to 160, depending on, there's the risk factors. And I said, you know how much you could save? You could save about $500. We put that in a mutual fund, as Christian David was saying. I said, in 35 years, I said, even if you don't die and you lose that 150 to 160 bucks, you will have over $2 million. Is he going to care that he's not insured anymore for $800,000? Absolutely not. This company does what is right 100% of the time. That's just one example. Every day I run into these, and this is what keeps me going, right? And with that being said, right, I have some, D's of the business, which I want to go through. Number one, first D's, you got to make that decision. I made that decision to help families because I didn't want to be, I wanted to help these people because I was thinking, if this was me, I would want somebody to tell me. And you know what's even more concerning is the fact that these people are being sold these life insurance policies by people that they already trust. These are their mothers, these are their fathers, these are their sisters, their brothers. I don't think some of them intentionally try to do it. I think they don't know either. But it becomes a very vicious cycle because these people are only taught how to sell, but they're not taught how to actually break down the policies. And I'm telling you, I've been breaking down these policies for over 7 years now. You tell me which company you're with, I'll tell you exactly which pages to look at. And that's another thing, you gotta know your products. You gotta know your products more than the agent who sold it to them, right? And if you lay out all your cards on the table, you tell them exactly what the numbers stand for, and they still don't wanna believe you, next. It doesn't matter at that point. Because sometimes it's their ego, and sometimes it's the relationship they have with the person that sold it to them, or sometimes it's just, pure laziness. It's too much work to get it replaced. Okay. It's not my retirement that's being affected, it's yours. It's your future, your family's future, right? So you gotta make that decision, and sometimes these decisions, right, starts with a very defining moment. Everybody has a defining moment. Mine was when I went to the Bahamas for a trip, and I heard somebody speak, and I was the type of person that, I didn't really want to recruit. Why? Because the other companies, that's what they did, and I didn't want to be associated with those other companies. But then it hit me. I can only be at one place at one time. If I grow my team, and my team grows their team, we can help more families, right? That was my defining moment. I listened to Elizabeth Koo. Okay. And you know what? You guys are here, you're blessed, because big decisions happen in these big events. Always show up, right? So the people that were, were like dragging their feet, they didn't want to come, I hope you got something out of it so far. Okay? My next D, discipline. Now you've made the decision, you gotta stay disciplined, okay? You gotta stay focused, you gotta show up, and I wanna shout out to John, Melissa, and Kayla. These are my youngest people on my team. They show up every single weekend, every Saturday for our trainings. And I wanna give a shout out to Abby and Nathan, very busy, but they always show up to our meetings, okay? You have to have some daily non-negotiable activity every day, because if you're not having activity, you're not gonna help any families, right? I set my goals, I set immediate goals, I set short and long-term goals, okay? I think it's important because if you set your own goal, then you have something to work for, right? I set how many people I want to prospect, how many people am I going to reach out today, how many people am I going to try to help, how much income do I really want to make? Is it bad that when we make money? No, because when we make money, it means we're helping a family, right? We got to eliminate and minimize distractions. People can easily get distracted, including myself. But if you minimize it, you can eliminate it, then you have less distractions and you have more time to work on your business, okay? you remember that your business will always treat you the way you treat your business, right? You get into one objection, one rejection, and you want to quit the business, no matter what business you go to, you are not going to win. It's part of the adversities, distractions, objections, rejections. I've had them all. I don't care. Because there are people out there that actually want my help. There are people there that want our team's help, right? Next D. Oops. I'm not very techie, right? Okay, what did I do? Now you gotta duplicate yourself. And I'm working on this, right? Once you've made the decision, now you've been disciplined, now you gotta duplicate yourself. You gotta field train people. What does that mean? You gotta teach people how to do what you do, right? You gotta get them licensed. You gotta promote them, right? And, as Gabby was saying earlier, this is a copycat business, right? You wanna study successful people. Because if you study successful people and you implement what the successful people do, what happens to you? You'll become successful, right? If you listen to a loser, right? If you listen to like 5 losers, you'll be the 6th loser. That's just not how it works, right? Always remember, surround yourself with people that can be a very positive influence in your life. The world is already negative. There's a lot of people that are full of envy, hate, right? Deceit, right? There are things you can control and there are things you can't control. But what you can control is up to you. What you can't control is not up to us. But yes, we can control what we control, right? I try to surround myself with positive people. I try to be a positive influence on other people. I do cuss like a sailor, but you know what? I have a good heart, I know that. I've always been helping people from day one, even before I was in the business. Thanks, Lynette. Okay, now you've duplicated yourself, then you can dominate. Because you know what? Winning matters. We win, our clients win. Okay? That client that I'm going to replace, okay? $160, maybe an 80%, I'll make $1,500 of commission. Took me about an hour to do. As a nurse, I made like $60 an hour. So how many hours do I have to work to make that? Oh, and by the way, on a W-2, you get taxed no matter what. And here on my 3rd year, okay, 3rd year going full time, on the end of the month, my rolling 12 is over 240,000. Doing what is right. I work very hard, I really do. And you know what? I really, really care about the people that I serve. I really do, I honestly do, I genuinely do. And they know that, it resonates with them. You can't fake being, genuinely concerned about people. And if you care about your clients will love you. And my clients, they know, I love my clients. I'm always available, right? I rarely sleep. Not necessarily good, but that's just for now, okay? So, after you've dominated, now you can live the dream of your life, okay? And the perfect thing about this opportunity is you can offer it to anybody who wants to do the business, right? Even if they didn't want to do it, I think they come to the big event like this and they see, they come into the room and it's very diverse. We all come from different walks of life, right? Different backgrounds, different, professions before, or non-professions before. It doesn't matter. I think in this business, if you actually have, the determination, you can execute, right? And you care, you can win. Anybody can win in this business. As you can see, every big event, and I listen to the speakers, everybody has a different background, right? And you always have to remember that there's always gonna be a why. Your why is gonna keep you going. My why, believe it or not, is the fact that I know I'm making a difference in the people that I serve, right? And not just immediate, but for the long term. Okay? And I'm gonna leave you guys with this. What do they say about dreaming? Dream big or go home. Thank you so much, guys.